Good morning, class 8 students. Today, in the chemistry uh, chapter 6, we would be studying uh, onwards from where we had left last time. And in last video, if you remember, we studied about thermal decomposition reactions. We studied about exothermic volcano experiment. We studied about reversible thermal decomposition reactions by photolysis and electrolysis, wherein sunlight was involved and electric current was involved. We learnt about displacement reactions, where a more active element is in the activity series displaced a less active element from a compound. We also visualized a reaction where iron displaced copper from copper sulfate, which was blue colored compound. If you remember this diagram here, then we had visualized a reaction where iron nail was put inside copper sulfate solution, and in the next diagram we could see the iron nail covered by a brownish liquid around it, or a brownish material around it, and the color of copper sulfate changed to green compound by the formation of iron sulfate. And here we see that copper was replaced by iron. So this was one of the displacement reactions we have seen. Now today we will go on with some more examples of displacement reactions, which are given here on page number 103. Here zinc, it displaces copper from copper sulfate to give zinc sulfate, and copper metal is precipitated. We see that copper sulfate is blue and zinc sulfate formed is colorless. Then in another reaction of displacement reactions, we see copper, it displaces silver, and so we get a compound as copper nitrate and silver. Silver nitrate was colorless solution and copper nitrate is blue solution. Then we again see a non-metal here, chlorine here, and this combines with sodium bromide to give sodium chloride and bromine gas. Then we see chlorine, which is more reactive. It displaces iodine here and forms a compound potassium chloride and iodine. So we see here so many examples of metals like zinc, copper and iron, and non-metals like chlorine, with metallic compounds like copper sulfate, silver nitrate, sodium bromide, potassium iodide and copper sulfate. These compounds, in this we see the displacement of metals, as well as we saw displacement of certain halides like chlorine displaced bromine, and chlorine also displaced iodine. Then we see examples of reactive metals reacting with cold water. We see reactions of metals with cold water, and there are less reactive metals in the reactivity series that react with only boiling water, and still there are least reactive metals which react only when heated steam is present. Let us quickly look at these examples given here. Here we see potassium, it combines with cold water to give potassium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is released. Then we see sodium, also one of the most reactive metals, combines with water to give sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is released. Then we see calcium reacts with water to give calcium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is released. Then we see magnesium, but magnesium is a metal which combines or reacts only with boiling water. So when we combine magnesium with boiling water, it gives magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is released. So we also see that steam is necessary at times to combine with magnesium metal, and it's a different reaction when we use steamed water with magnesium metal, which does not give magnesium hydroxide, but it gives magnesium oxide and hydrogen. Then we will see metals which react with dilute acids, and when metals react with dilute acids, they liberate hydrogen gas. The acids can be sulfuric acid H2SO4 or hydrochloric acid HCl. Now we see here on this page number 104 that magnesium reacts with sulfuric acid to give magnesium sulfate and hydrogen. Likewise, zinc, it replaces hydrogen to make zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas. Sodium replaces hydrogen of sulfuric acid to give sodium sulfate and hydrogen gas. Potassium metal, it again displaces hydrogen here and makes a compound potassium sulfate, hydrogen gas is released. Then with sulfuric acid, copper combines, but because if you remember in activity series that copper comes after hydrogen, and so there is no reaction. So children, this is something important to be remembered. Then we see metals, they also combine with dilute hydrochloric acid, and we see metals above hydrogen, they react with cold water and dilute hydrochloric acid liberating hydrogen. Here we see potassium with hydrochloric acid, it displaces hydrogen gas and forms a compound potassium chloride. Then zinc with hydrochloric acid forms zinc chloride and hydrogen gas. Iron, it again displaces hydrogen to form hydrogen gas and a compound iron chloride. And lead, it displaces hydrogen from HCl acid to form hydrogen gas and a compound lead chloride. So metals present below hydrogen, they do not liberate hydrogen. So this we see in this particular example of copper with sulfuric acid. Now children, let us come to another set of reactions which are called double decomposition reaction. In this reaction, the constituents of compounds are mutually exchanged. If you see here, AB is combining with CD, and so we see that the constituents of compounds are mutually exchanged their radicals to form two different compounds, is known as double decomposition reaction. And why it's double? If you see this basic reaction, AB combines with CD, A combines with D to form a product AD, and C, which is the positive radical, combines with the negative radical B of this particular compound to form CB. So in double displacement reactions, the positive portions of two ionic compounds are interchanged. Another example of double displacement reaction can be seen here on page number 105. If we see here, we see barium chloride, which is a compound, it combines with sodium sulfate. So barium, which is a positive radical, it combines with sulfate forming barium sulfate, and sodium combines with chlorine to form NaCl or sodium chloride, which is salt. Then we see nickel nitrate, it combines with sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is a base, so nickel combines with hydroxide to form nickel hydroxide, and sodium combines with nitrate to form sodium nitrate. Then we see another double decomposition example. Sodium chloride combines with lead nitrate to form sodium nitrate and lead chloride. You see, this positive goes with the negative of this compound. Then we see barium nitrate combines with potassium sulfate. So barium here combines with sulfate to form barium sulfate, and potassium combines with nitrate to form potassium nitrate. Now we see double displacement reactions, but these are precipitation reactions. Now what is a precipitation reaction? Precipitation reactions are those reactions which involve the formation of an insoluble product. For example, a milky suspension of calcium carbonate is formed when carbon dioxide gas, it combines with lime water, calcium hydroxide. It forms a suspension, or it forms a precipitate calcium carbonate, and water is given out. So we see that precipitation reactions are very useful, and what use they come for? Precipitation reactions, they are useful for analysis and can also be used in paint industry for making insoluble pigments or insoluble paints which cannot be removed by rain or cannot be removed by day-to-day reactions with air. And one of these reactions is sodium chloride combines with silver nitrate. So here we see a precipitate is formed of silver chloride and a compound sodium nitrate is formed. So this is also a reaction. Likewise, we can see another reaction here of iron chloride combining with sodium hydroxide, and they form a precipitate iron hydroxide FeOH3, and they form sodium chloride. Likewise, another example is of lead nitrate, which combines with sodium sulfate to give a precipitate lead sulfate and also a compound sodium nitrate. So these were all precipitation where precipitates are formed like lead sulfate and iron hydroxide, AgCl and calcium carbonate. All these precipitates were formed. Then finally we come to neutralization reactions. Now what is a neutralization reaction? Where acid neutralizes a base. A neutralization reaction is one in which an acid or an acid oxide, it reacts with a base or a basic oxide to form a salt and water. So once again we will see what neutralization reaction is. We see an acid here. This is a general equation I have written to explain neutralization reaction. We see an acid HX here because acids, they start with H, like hydrochloric acid, like sulfuric acid H2SO4, like nitric acid HNO3, nitrous acid HNO2. So and the base is MOH. A base is formed with a metal like sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. So this is a base. When acid and base combine, children, what do they give? Let us revise again. The neutralization reaction happens between acid and base. Both acid and base, they neutralize each other, forming what, children? Salt and water. Now let us see some examples here on page 105. The examples are HCl, which is an acid, combines with sodium hydroxide, a base to form a salt, sodium chloride and water H2O. Likewise, sulfuric acid H2SO4 combines with barium hydroxide, which is a base, to give barium sulfate, which is a salt and water. Likewise, zinc oxide combines with hydrochloric acid. Zinc oxide is a base here. It combines with an acid, hydrochloric acid, to give zinc chloride, which is a salt, and water H2O. Likewise, calcium oxide, which is a base, it again combines with here nitric acid to give calcium nitrate, which is a salt, and water. Then carbon dioxide combines with lithium hydroxide to give lithium carbonate, which is again a precipitate, and a salt and water. Then we see calcium hydroxide calcium hydroxide is base, combines with acid, nitric acid to give calcium nitrate, which is a salt, and water. Copper oxide combines with HCl hydrochloric acid to give copper chloride, which is again a salt and water. Sulfur dioxide combines with sodium hydroxide here to give sodium sulfate and water. Likewise, carbon dioxide combines with sodium hydroxide here to give sodium carbonate. So we see here all the set of neutralization reactions where acid base, they neutralize each other to give salt and water. So children, in the next video we will continue on from here. Till then, wish you all the best. Have a good day. Thank you.